And then I guess this is probably going to be one of the last questions. I love really weird history. The series you do?
You're the only guy.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I think that's a tremendous series.
Yeah.
Where do you find those stories?
Generally in history books.
So you really go through it. I've never read those in a history book.
Yeah. No, you just read weird, oddball history facts. When I was a kid, I think I picked up at a book fair at school weird history facts and stuff, and I read no obscure presidential trivia and things like that. Really weird history kind of broke my heart. That was, I really loved that series, and it was not nearly as successful as I thought it would be. I had planned to do 7 episodes, and we got 3 in, and it was just not. The amount of time it took to produce the episodes was not conducive.
Audience call.
Sure.
If you haven't watched Really Weird History, go right now. Share it with your friends.
Yeah.
I recommend the America's Emperor, or it's the
American Emperor.
The American
Emperor of the United States.
Emperor of the United States. Incredible.
Well,
Operation Mincemeat is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Go watch it. We got to get this thing back on track.
It really would. I mean, that was one of my favorite things that I've made, and just nobody watched it, and the people who watched it didn't seem to. I don't know what happened with it. Honestly, it might have just been that I was not advertising it correctly. Maybe I didn't, brand it correctly, whatever that means. I have submitted those as short films to festivals, and so they'll play on a festival circuit. But yeah, it was just I love making them, and I love the end result of all of them. I like what we made. I think that maybe if it doesn't have a place on YouTube, maybe it will thrive in some other form or some other medium. They took a long time to make those. I mean, it was tough.
Well, the strange thing about this is that the one analytic you don't get with YouTube is impact. And those videos, once I saw those, I was like, oh man, I'm a huge fan. I was a fan, but I was like, oh, this is great content.
Wow.
So to me, sometimes the smaller videos you can make, and it's hard to see as a creator, but from an audience, it's obvious. Some of the smaller films you do, even though they might not be commercially successful, you could get yourself a fan for life.
Yeah.
So I
understand. If I could do it, I would go back and do more of those, because there are plenty of stories to tell. History is endless in that way. But when it's a 2.5 month production cycle, to put one of those together, we're animating 100% of it, and voicing and audio mixing and all of that. It's a lot of work. I worked more on Really Weird History to perfect those videos than probably any other video that I made, and I loved it because it was a form of narrative.
Yes, that's right. That's what one of my favorite parts too. Awesome. Well,
just imagine what I could do if I had a feature.
Yes, yes.
There are stories left to
You're
tell.
not going to tell us what your feature's about?
Well, I'll say this. There are lots of stories that I'm burning to tell, and I've been very grateful and appreciative that people have been listening the past few months, the past year and a half. I hope they continue to listen. I'm going to continue to try and say things that are worth hearing.